Hello, everybody. It's Anita here. I'm coming on live. Just give me a moment to share this with some other groups. If you're joining, just give you a few moments to join as well. If you're here, this is rather impromptu, and I'm going to be doing impromptu lives as well as the weekly masterclass that is fixed for each week. Just coming in to give you some real value. So give me a love heart, give me a hello if you're here. Just why I find what I'm doing here, and I'm just gonna look to, too many things going on my Facebook as ever. Okay, let me see if I can share this with my group as well. How are you all? How are you doing in lockdown? It's just been very recent for us here in Singapore, so not too bad so far. Um, but there's something quite peaceful about it. I don't know. I'm finding that, which is maybe a bit odd, but we could all be feeling differently. So let me know how you're feeling. Okay, let me see if I can share this. Share to group. I just want to share it to my group. And if you haven't joined the group, let's do that first before I go on and on. I'm just going to pop it. If you haven't joined the group, that's where I usually do all of the value. Yeah, all of the weekly masterclasses that are up for 48 hours that are really going to help you make movement in this area of liberation, getting unstuck, getting untrapped from whichever area of that in life that is for you. Okay, that's essentially what we're doing in this community. So if you haven't joined that group, there's a button at the top of this page that you can join that. So I just want to mention that while I'm faffing about here. So let me just see it's live in the group so they're getting the value too. Spreading the love. How many Easter eggs have you got? Have you got any Easter eggs? What kind of Easter eggs have you got? I haven't got any yet, which is a bit crap. But I'm hoping, and I am hinting to my husband, so I'm hoping. And if I get one, I will post a picture. Okay, so you post a picture of yours too. Okay, we are live. So today is just an impromptu, just to come in and say hi and talk about a subject. What I want to talk about today is, are you wearing a mask? Yeah? What do I mean? Maybe you know immediately what I mean. And I'd love you to answer yes or no in the chat. Am I wearing a mask? That means, are you pretending to be anything that you're not at any one time? You're not being authentic, and you're pretending, and you're not doing that because you're like schizophrenic or a weirdo or a liar. Not at all, because actually the majority of the world, and women in particular, feel the need to wear a mask because we are, when we're born, if you like, we come out as us. We don't care what people think of us, right? And then almost immediately we start getting conditioning to what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, okay? So masks will be put on, this mask, this good girl mask. Good girls don't do that. Good girls don't complain. Good girls sit nicely. Good girls don't shout. Good girls don't have opinions. Good girls get a college degree, or whatever it may be. Yeah, I'm just making those up. But those masks get on. For me, being a UK-born Indian, this is how good girls have, an arranged marriage, or good girls stay at home. They don't go out, or whatever it may be, right? Those kinds of things that come from your conditioning. Does that make sense? So let me know. If you're watching this now, then feel free to give me your comments. Let me have your questions. Let me have your realizations. Or if you're on the replay, then give me a hashtag replay. All I ask for coming out here and doing these lives for you and giving you this value is to hear back from you and let me know if it helped. If yes or no, this helped. That would be enough. Or one thing that you've taken away from each of the lives and the lessons I give. I would be massively grateful for that, yeah, as I do this. So, are you wearing a mask, right? And, who are you really underneath that mask? And sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. I didn't really know I was doing it for a long time. And actually, what I found in life, one of the hardest things is to be yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, be compassionate towards yourself. And just really allow, allow yourself to do that. There's so much fear around it, right? What will this person think? What will that person think? Who am I anyway? And you don't want to be rejected or judged. And there's like, there's kind of under the surface fear going on all around that because of our conditioning. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense to you as well. So I've got my notes here. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm not looking away. I just want to keep on track. So who are we? What I want to talk about is who are we beneath our defenses? You know, beneath our comforts, when we're out of our comfort zone, when we're experiencing a difficult situation like we are now in the world with the global pandemic, being on lockdown, our lives being disrupted. It puts us at the very least in an uncomfortable situation, potentially at the worst in a very fearful, anxious, feeling closed in, trapped position, right? So who are we, when life throws those curveballs? Our tendency is to look outside of ourselves for the blame of that, right? We look outside. And it's to look for comfort and validation also from the outside. That is our natural tendency, right? And actually the comfort comes from the inside. The solutions comes from the inside. The peace comes from the inside, right? Yet I didn't know that for a very long time, and I didn't even really know what that even meant when I first heard this. But it's important to know that as you start this journey, wherever you are on that self-discovery journey, you might be at the beginning and the middle or the end, okay? Well, there's no end really. It's continuous, and it is for me as well, right? So for me, I am really committed, and I really believe that this time has come where the whole world is on lockdown. We are in our homes. We are having to be with ourselves. Some of us for the very first time. We have nowhere to hide in terms of even like hiding in busy, hiding in our work, hiding behind our masks, right? Whether that is, the job we do, the roles we play in life, whether it's mother, daughter, wife, director, business owner, entrepreneur. We can't hide anymore. We have to be with ourselves. There's no pretending. We can't even go into avoidance, and use these things to avoid how we're feeling and what we might be experiencing. And what's really going on, in my view, is that there is a calling for us to turn up more authentically in the world, to really own who we are. Actually, there was something I wrote down earlier. I wasn't going to say this, but let me see if I can find it. It's just a really cool, a really cool quote. Yeah, and you should write this down, or you can write this down. I'm not sure you could. And I would love for you to write it down and really feel this. And it's one of my favorite quotes. And I can't remember who it comes from. It might be Brené Brown. Because true belonging, and that's the problem right now. We're feeling like we're lost. We don't have a sense of belonging. Everything we know has changed. Everything is changing. We don't know what's going to happen. We can't be who we were being before. A lot of the time, that's wearing a mask. Yeah. Hi, Angela. Nice to see you. A lot of the time, that's wearing a mask. Right. So everything's changing. Right? And so we don't feel we have a sense of belonging, because everything that we belong to, whether that was our work, whether that was the roles we were playing, before the pandemic, right, is now, what was going on maybe on a smaller scale, that kind of discontent on the inside is now on a magnitude scale. It's exaggerated because of the situation. It is not because of the situation, the crisis, even if it feels like that. Just trust me on that one. It's not because of the situation. Because if we're really honest with ourselves, we had these anxieties, fears, not truly being ourselves before this happened. This is now exaggerating it. Because on a universal scale, on a Mother Nature scale, if you like, I don't care which one you believe in, but you're believing in something bigger with the work I do is important. And if you don't believe in that, that's okay. That you don't need to be here, then there's no hard feelings about that. But there is something bigger going on here, okay? whatever that is, I don't mind what you call it, okay? Whether it's spirit, source, universe, God, I don't really get hung up on that myself, okay? It's just understanding that there is something bigger that we can work with here, and there is a reason why things happen the way they do. There aren't no accidents, and everything is happening for you, not to you, okay? So you can develop into the woman that you really are, the beauty of your soul as it was meant to be before it got conditioned. And I'm committed to having as many women as possible get really liberated and unstuck and untrapped from feeling that their happiness comes from the outside, from an outside source, from a job, from a relationship. The answers are going to come from there, and they've got to put a mask on to gain love, to gain respect, to fit in, whatever it may be. And everybody does this, right? Everybody does this. I'll tell you a story about myself. Let me tell you that quote for now. Sorry, I just went on a rant there, but let me tell you the quote I was about to say. Because true belonging, so excited, I'm like spitting on myself here. True belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. That gave me tingles as I said that. So really take that in, right? So our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. So we're not going to feel that sense of belonging, sense of fulfillment, sense of being comfortable in our own skin, sense of, natural confidence, natural self-belief when we don't accept ourselves. And we can't accept ourselves fully if we don't know who we are. Okay, we kind of get a little lost along the way with all the conditioning, what you're meant to do, follow these steps and you will be happy, right? Be a good girl, wear these masks, get an education, get married, have a child maybe, buy a house, get a car, travel, go on some holidays, you will be happy. And damn, I don't know how many of you have done those things. I've done a lot of them. And you kind of get there and go, oh shit, I'm not happy, right? I'm not fully happy. And then the guilt creeps in because it's like, oh my God, why am I not happy? I pretty much got it all on the surface. But that's because you haven't been true to yourself, okay? To who you're really here to be. And that's okay because it can be reversed. There's no need, we don't need to fall apart over this. And I don't want to, get, fearmonger. That's the last thing I want to do. We just want to develop. It's all part of the growth, right? It's all part of the growth. And that's the women I'm interested in. Women that want to become more conscious. Women that want to develop, grow, have a look inside. Not women that are, want to say, oh, well, prove it to me, or I'm cynical about it. I love you and that's fine. I get it. I was there once upon a time and I had to step over that, right, to really embrace the new, to learn what I didn't know. I mean, you don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? You don't know what you don't know until you know it. Every day is a school day and I am a student of this world, of this universe, just like you, okay? And we're here to really learn from each other as well, and that's why I'm bringing you this, okay, and the stuff that I have to give you so I can move you forwards and help to shift you. And there are others that are shifting me, okay, because this development and healing is just wonderful. There's so many layers. Just imagine what age we've got to and how much we don't really know ourselves, right? And we haven't taken the time to even do that, okay? So let me know if that makes sense. Just so I can have a sip of tea. And let's dive in, okay? Let me have your questions. Let me have your comments. So let me know, are you wearing a mask? Do you think you are? Yes or no? Okay? And everything's fine here. There's no judgment here at all. Okay. So everything usually happens on a psychological level, right? How we feel about something, the perception we create. If we're really clear, it's happening on a psychological level. If we had a different psychological perspective on it, that we could believe and that who we really are, the result of how we're feeling and what will manifest will be different. Yeah? So when we're wearing masks and we're living in fear and we're living in and not feeling good about ourselves, then, or, in this global pandemic, we're feeling a lot of fear, we're feeling a lot of disruption. Yeah. However, we are interpreting that psychologically, yeah, will ultimately determine um, what we do and how we come out of this. And also, it's infectious, just like the fear is infectious, just like, what's going on in the world is infectious, how most people feel. So if you were like on a feeling something different, that's really going to be the making of you or the breaking of you. That's really going to be the difference if you walk out of this, and we will be coming out of this at some point, whether you go back to putting on the mask and living a life that is, less than fulfilling, or you take this beautiful time, this golden opportunity to do that work, right? Do the inner work, find yourself, trust yourself, and really find your authentic self, and craft and design your life in the way that it always was meant to be, who you want to be, what you want to enjoy, what you want to do, okay, how you want to live. And anything goes. It depends on who you really are, but going on that beautiful journey, indulging in that in this time, is the best thing you can do. If you're saying to yourself, oh, I can't do it right now, and this is the excuse I'm hearing, is I can't do that right now because there's a global pandemic going on and we're all in fear, this isn't the right time for me, and I say with love, that is BS. This is the right time to do it. You've literally been given, a friend of mine said to me the other day, this is a forced retreat, a forced staycation, right? Unless you are ill. And all my love goes out to you if you're ill right now with COVID-19, or your relatives are, but you are not. Yeah. So we're doing our part by staying at home and following all the rules that we can, the best we can, but we have an opportunity here to make a massive change, right? And I believe that why this is happening, because so many of us are going around, had plenty of personal crises, plenty of difficult situations, and have just pushed through and carried on wearing the mask, okay? Carried on pretending, pleasing, and proving. And we don't have to do that. The minute we become vulnerable and real and who we are and imperfect is when everything changes, okay? How you feel within yourself, like when this situation happens, you can be with yourself. Like you are your own best friend, right? You're not looking for your solutions outside of yourself. I used to, and I don't anymore, but it's a beautiful feeling. It's like nothing else I can describe, okay? So if you're anything like I used to be, I did not wear one mask. I wore several, right? I used to be a marketing director, a partner, a sister, a daughter, all these things. A friend, a different friend to different friends, right? You get the idea. And to do that, and most of us are doing this without realizing, is that it's exhausting, right? It is exhausting. And why do we do it? It's because we want to fit in, right? But really, and we want to please others. We want to make them happy because we think our happiness comes from the outside in. So if we make them happy, that will make us happy, right? That's what we believe. But in reality, when we're fitting in, what we're doing is we're betraying who we really are. We're betraying our truth, and we are dumbing that down and pushing it down, and that hurts. That hurts yourself, right? That's when you start to experience pain, or a feeling lost from yourself, or anxiety, or depression, or bouts of that, right? Or fear. And many of us just live with these feelings as if they're normal, right? They're not, right? They're not. So the more we do this, and the more we try to be what others need us to be, and another way of describing it is people pleasing, right? The more we will lose ourselves. And I know this from experience. I'm talking from experience. I'm not like here telling you. I'm talking from experience. The more I lost myself, the more anxious I became, right? And, the more overwhelmed I became, the more sad I became at times, right? And I just got so tired, frankly. I mean, I even had health problems of like, what's wrong with me? Nothing. I would go to the doctor, fatigue, skin problems, stomach problems, you name it. There's like nothing wrong with you. Maybe you've got stress in your life that you need to remove, right? which is very true, because when we experience these feelings, they will attack our body. They will, right? And our immunity gets affected by that, you know? So, but we have control over this. The control is not outside of us, it's within us, okay? So this is good news because we get to change it, right? What else did I want to say? Let me know if you've got any comments. Let me know if you recognize yourself as someone that wears a mask, okay? Because, you know, the reason we get so tired and it affects our health is because it's work not to be you. It's work to put on those masks, right? That is hard fucking work, right? It really is. And then we feel guilty, right? Because, like I said, we have so much on the outside, yet we're feeling less than happy or discontent on the inside, or, you know, we're feeling unappreciated even. And why are we feeling unappreciated? Because we're showing up with masks on, because so they can't appreciate the real you anyway. It's impossible, right? Because you're not being the real you, okay? And we even feel unloved sometimes. Again, people cannot love a false self. They can kind of love it, but we can't really feel it and receive it and bring it in. Does that make sense? Right? But when you're your true self, you can start to bring and receive that love in, which is also a beautiful thing. Because when we're wearing a mask, it acts as a block to bring in love and bring in and attract the things we desire, whether that's money, whether that's wealth, whether that's a relationship, whether that's love, whether that's self-fulfillment, whether that's freedom, whatever it is to you, yeah? It creates an actual energetic block, right? Which can be removed, which is good news, right? So the reason we feel like this is because we're not showing our true beauty, right? Because it might not look beautiful to someone else. Someone might go, oh, I don't like it. And we've got a problem with that, right? Because we think we're going to be rejected from the tribe. And what does that mean? No one will like me. No one will love me. No one will employ me. I won't be able to pay my bills. And then I'll be on the streets. I'll be on my own. And then I'll die, right? That might sound dramatic. But seriously, if you follow fear through, which is you know, false evidence appearing real. Yeah, I've done plenty of lives on fear, so have a look at that. It always ends up in that. So it's not real, it's false. But it keeps us stuck in this idea that we have to be that way, okay? And I'm here with commitment to set you free and giving you permission to set you free, okay? Which is really important. Not that you need permission from me, right? It's about giving yourself permission. And then following those steps, not having to know all of the answers, okay? So it seems to me the reason why this is happening is because everybody wants to feel that way, right? We want to feel comfortable in our own skin. We want to feel like we're being authentic, 100% ourselves. We want to feel fearless, you know, conscientious, the real us, you know, really receiving love, giving love, and feeling good, right? But it's the reason why we can't do it or we struggle is that it's just not possible without being vulnerable, right? And we struggle to be vulnerable. This is just, you know, it's without vulnerability, you know, life or way of being becomes hard work and we can go into self-sabotage, okay? That's just the linear thing that happens. So what is it that's so scary about vulnerability? If I said to you right now, going alive like I'm doing right now, and trust me, I wouldn't have been doing this many years ago, and be vulnerable. Tell me the most vulnerable thing about you right now, right? How would you feel? What feeling does that bring up in you, you know? Let me know on this live, or let me know when you're on the replay. And I'll come back and I'll comment and answer, or PM me, you know, I'd love to know. Because the first step towards that vulnerability, rather than hiding, is the way you start to set yourself free. Okay, you want to do that in a safe space, particularly if you've been through some bad experiences or you're not sure, you have trust. I don't want to say issues, but you know, you have trouble trusting because of what you've been through. So it makes sense, okay? We don't want to just be vulnerable here, then, everywhere to everyone, because, you know, they haven't earned that sometimes, and sometimes we're very delicate, right, when we're coming out for the first time, if you like. So we want to create safe spaces for that, and that's what I do, okay? So if you're not already on the secret workshop series that I'm doing, that's kicking off on the 20th of April, totally free, 4 days of awesomeness, right? You will love this. Then make sure you get signed up to that. We're just warming up. We're just getting to know each other in a safe space, okay? Where we're going to do this. We're handpicking the women that are right for this space, okay? And I will be personally taking care of you and that journey, okay? So it's that vulnerability, right? It's the uncertainty. We don't want to be vulnerable because we don't know what is on the other side of vulnerability. So we'd rather just carry on wearing the mask, even if we're miserable or even if we're anxious, even if we don't like our life fully, we don't love our relationships fully, we want them to turn around, but we just make do and carry on, wear the mask, push through, settle, tell yourself you're too busy. Because you know the end result of that, right? That you know what that is, right? You know what's on the other side of that. At least that's some kind of certainty, right? Even if it isn't all that you desire and all that you want. But we don't know what's on the other side of vulnerability. But actually, just on the other side of whatever scares you is amazingness. Let me tell you. The amount of times I've done this now, I still get scared. I still get scared of being vulnerable. But every time there's something amazing on this other side for me, okay? It's like when I jumped out of a plane, for example. I was shit scared in that plane with that door open. And I was like, oh my flip, God, what am I doing? And then I jumped out of that plane, or someone jumped that was attached to me in the back. And oh my God, total euphoria. And the more you reframe fear to being courageous, the better. Reframe fear to being courageous. Do not do things because you're in fear. I used to have this idea that I'm not meant to be in fear, and then I would do it, right? If it's the right thing to do, I wouldn't be in fear, and I would just be feeling good, and I'll just be feeling great, and then that's the right direction. Nope. Usually that's the wrong direction. That's staying with the mask on, okay? So know that it's okay to have the fear. It's actually a good thing. It means you're moving on to something new and amazing, the next level of you, getting more closer to your authentic self, okay? And giving yourself permission to do that, right? Which is really important. Okay, so that's a little secret I want to let you into, that it is really beautiful on the other side of that, guy. So trust me on that, borrow my trust. All you desire is there, okay? Loving, respectful relationships, work you love, friendships you adore, meaningful friendships, not just on the surface relationships, a feeling of feeling at home with yourself, which is really the penultimate relationships. The relationship with yourself is the most important. It's all there. So even though it's scary, right, do it anyway. Right? The brave thing. So I'm going to invite you to do one brave thing today, at least, on the back of this live, because I like this to be interactive, right? Even though I want to teach you, I want to give you this value, but I also want you to do something with it, right? Because if you just watch this and don't do anything with it, it will have some effect, but not a lot, right? So be an action taker and think, right, okay, well, what can I do with this? With what Anita's saying, and that would be individual for you. And I'd love to hear about it as well. Share what's going on. Yeah. So what have I got else that I want to say here? I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, so even though it's scary, do it anyway. Okay, do it anyway. And it will bring, if you keep going on that journey, it will bring so much calm, so much clarity, so much joy, no matter the external circumstances. So it's not that your life's perfect. Yeah, my life is not perfect, but not by a long stretch, right? I have challenges just like everybody else, okay? But it's you're feeling inside yourself, your inner serenity, your inner grace and calm, if you like, right? To be the eye in that storm and to navigate from a whole different place so it becomes a transformative experience for you, right? Which is wild. But that's what starts to happen, okay? If we don't just react from where our masks, with our masks on, okay, that's what everybody else is doing. Yep, that's what they're all doing. They're all scared. So I've got to be scared because I won't be a good girl if I'm not scared. That'd be weird. So you've got to allow yourself that, give yourself permission for that, right? So you cannot be a courageous person, right? And you cannot be yourself and find out who you are underneath the masks if you're not willing to be uncomfortable, okay? So if you're going to be coming into my workshop series or coming into work with me in any capacity, you know, be okay with getting uncomfortable, right? It's part of the ride. That's part of being conscious woman, wanting to develop self-discovery, wanting to grow, right? So that's really important, okay? So today, I really wanted to come on, and at these times when I get it, it's very compounding what's going on. We've never been in a situation like this, even though some people are saying, I've been in recessions. I was in a recession where I lost my father to suicide because of the impact of the financial situation. So I get it. We've been in recessions, depressions, wars, and things like that. But really, we've never been in this situation, right? This is very different. Even though people are talking about recession, there's a lot of fear mongering going on. So I'm going to invite you today to step out of that. I'm not saying stop caring about it, but take your energy out of that. Definitely still be supportive and all of those things. And take some time to self-indulge into you, okay? And start to see who you are under the mask. So you can come back, because the more authentic women and people and men that we have walking this earth in this time as we're going through this global crisis, and I'll say that for a reason, the more that will get contagious and the more good that will happen in the world, okay? Does that make sense? Right? It doesn't help to start to contract, right? All of us are getting very contract. Okay, everyone's scared. We shouldn't spend any money. There's a law of circulation, and we want things to start to circulate. Keep it circulating. So take this time like a retreat and I'm organizing a retreat for you online, of course, free, okay? Full of value, full of fun, full of amazing things. It's going to be a journey into you like no other. The work is very unique, it's very magical, it's fun, it's gorgeous, and it's about taking that time for you, okay? So please join that. I don't think I'll put the link in this yet, but I'll put the link in the comments so you can join that. So my invite for you today is to get courageous, right? Choose courage over comfort, because comfort isn't really comfortable. It's wearing the mask and you're just in like this long-term discomfort, right? Long-term pain that you're just living with, right? Of not being yourself, because you're like, well, I don't want to be vulnerable and I don't want to get uncomfortable and have short-term uncomfort, and it's very short-term with the work I do, so I can be free as a bird and know myself, love myself, get myself, accept myself, and there's so much more of a joy of other people that are around me now too, right? Because they can connect with you too. People can't connect with masks, okay? No one's enjoying it. Think about it. What do you most connect with? You connect with someone that's real and vulnerable, right? Even if you're in the background going, ooh, you're a bit nuts. I get lots of that, and that's okay, because I don't get my happiness from the outside. So everyone's entitled to say what they like, and what you feel and think of me is none of my business. What I feel and think of me is my business, okay? It's about, I don't want to portray myself as a conjugal not to, upset you, right? Because it's not going to work anyway, right? Because the way you're thinking about me is nothing to do with me anyway, right? If that's making any sense, let me know. Ask questions if it doesn't make sense. What else did I want to say? Okay, I'm going to be signing off in a little moment. What else did I want to say? Yes, so choose courage over comfort. And really, this work that I do, this Liberate Me movement, right, that I am really pulling together with all my heart, all my might, is really because I am out there and I am saying, choose to be you, right? Choose to be you, right? So take the mask off. Okay? You're not going to die. Nothing bad's going to happen. I promise you. Okay? So choose to be you. Be truly brave. And the first step to do that, to really connect with your truth and awaken, right? And I tell you, you will experience pure joy, right? And clarity to craft your life, what your purpose is, and the ability to take it forward so it becomes a real thing. So we're not just here going, la la, who am I? This is just like, really nice. This is actually taking us somewhere in our lives to be and experience what we're here to experience, and really taking that to the maximum, right? So here's a little quote here for one of my brave clients. And she told me what her experience was of being brave. Now, anyone that works with me is brave, right? Because they're taking that leap. They're just incredible, right? No one has regretted it. They have these incredible results that are so long lasting. It blows my mind. A year, 2 years after I've worked with them, they're telling me, oh my God, I would not have been handling this situation like this. And it's because of Liberate Me and the Freedom Code program that's helped me do this, and helped me make something that seems like a disaster, like we are experiencing right now, into something magical, okay? And she said, I went onto this program with some skepticism, right? Who recognizes that? Me, for one. I used to be a skeptic. But I thought, hey, I'm at a point in my life where I've simply tried everything. Right? I would appreciate any form of assistance I can get. And that's important as well, to really reach out for help. Don't do things alone. We're not meant to do things alone. We would be here alone if we were meant to do things alone. The program was very emotional for me at the beginning, but I learned to let go of all my deepest emotions and give myself the chance to break free. After the program, I learned to finally find some inner peace and find solutions to resolve my issues. Yeah, because this is not me about making you dependent on me or anybody else. You will be empowered to do that yourself, right? And that's what this is so beautiful. Graceful empowerment is what I talk about. She says, now I'm happier and I'm finally being able to take me time and be me. Thank you so much, Anita. Yeah. And I want to share stuff like that with you, not to blow my own freaking trumpet, but so you can feel what happens when women go on this journey, okay? And when you're taking that mask off and you start to take that inner journey, okay? And you get to do that with me if you so choose. If you don't, that's okay too, right? That's okay too. I will put the link in. It's called the Secret Workshop Series. Unlock the secrets that are keeping you stuck. So the things that may not be in your consciousness or your awareness that keep you stuck in the masks or the old ways and not being able to unleash, or you're at a crossroads and you don't even really know what you want. All of that is fine, okay? Because we need to get to the real you first, see what's getting in the way, remove that, and then boom, you will know exactly what you want, who you are, and that clarity, okay? So we're going to be going on that journey together. We're going to be starting that journey over those 4 days, okay? Which is going to be really cool. Okay, is there anything else I wanted to say? Let me see. Yeah. I don't think so. No. I think that's it. So take off the masks, but step number 1 is, am I wearing a mask? Am I wearing any mask? Just bring your awareness to that and just be okay with that. Be self-compassionate. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to admit it. Allow that to happen. Allow that to happen. I can't make you do that. You have to give yourself permission to do that. But I'm encouraging you because I know I needed encouragement, because it's scary stuff. But all the good stuff is on the outside of that, okay? Losing my voice. Anything else? No, I just like hanging out with you. So it's been great hanging out with you. I will come live again. I will try to make these shorter, but for whatever reason, we all have our downfalls. Mine is that I can't stop blinking speaking. So this has been 38 minutes. I'm trying to keep them to 30 minutes when I do these impromptu daily lives. And I'm trying to come on daily whenever I can. But there is a weekly masterclass as well in the group. So join the group. That's just under my picture at the top of this page. Visit that group. You can go there, or you can just join the Secret Workshop Series and I can start to guide you, okay? I love you so much. Keep safe. Have a very happy Easter. I'm hoping to get some Easter eggs. I haven't got any yet. I used to get loads as a child. I don't know why. I used to eat so much chocolate. It was unbelievable. I used to actually have 10 chocolate bars as my lunch and a half a portion of chips. Can you believe it? When I was at secondary school. So unhealthy, unbelievable. Yeah, but I had so much Easter egg once that my eyes, I get a lot of allergies, so eczema and things like that, and my eyes were swollen from eating so much sugar and chocolate. But I still didn't stop, so I'm hoping to get one today. If not, I will put my mask on because we're allowed to go out in Singapore as long as we've got our mask on, and we're just going to get what we need. Or actually, in Singapore, we're really lucky; we can order a lot of stuff online as well, and go pick one up for myself. Because this is all about a relationship with ourselves, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So if I don't get one by tomorrow, I will do that for myself, and I will post a picture of it. Post a picture of yourself and your Easter eggs. Let me know if you're wearing a mask. Come and join me in the Secret Workshop series. I love you so much. This has been huge fun. Thanks so much for listening. Let me know one thing you got out of this today. And if you don't even want to share that, okay, if you don't even want to be that vulnerable, I encourage you to be so. But if not, then please just let me know if this has helped you. So, and just a little comment of saying, oh yeah, this helped, okay? Then I know. All right, love you so much. Take care. Bye.